I think we both got it in the same way of getting it from Kelly, which, I mean, kind of the best way to get it too. And I think I was quite surprised and also kind of overwhelmed that she would ask me to take a look at it and be a part of it and be a part of this, Last Dance journey, which was a big one for her because it's one that she has been a part of telling the Venom stories from the beginning with Tom, and she was been writing on it and then producing it, and now she was directing the last one. So it's also another aspect of a real honor to be asked to be a part of. And I think, it's really obvious how much these movies mean to them, to both Tom and Kelly, and how much time they've spent creatively investing a lot of their kind of genuine friendship into Eddie and Venom on screen. And I think it really shows. And yeah, I was really honored to be asked to be a part of it.
Yeah, I felt the same way. Just a real privilege, and Kelly asking me to read it, and I thought that it's, I love the kind of Venom universe, just the whole Venom franchise, and that relationship between Eddie and Venom is so unique and so just sort of incredible to watch. And they're a lot of fun, the films, and they're fast-paced and they're, just really exhilarating and engaging. And so knowing, again, what Juno was saying, that this meant a lot to Kelly and that there was such a emotional commitment and engagement with it, and just a really passionate fan base, that were really excited about this as the sort of last interaction between these two characters, was really exciting. And then this great part to play, great cast, Juno, just really exciting that we were going to get to kind of have our own little dance, the first dance, and so that was really fun. This kind of the sort of military science kind of dynamic was was really great. So there were just so many things that I was really excited about. So thrilled. I played General Strickland, and so he runs this facility, which is this hyper secret facility that's by Area 51, and there's alien life down there, and so the facility is split in two between the military side and the scientific side. So they have, Dr. Payne sort of runs the more scientific side. Over the general auspice of the military, who kind of safeguard the area and secure the facility.
I'm glad they were separated,
Yeah, and then this is where the tension comes from. See?
But when you see the film, you'll see, I think you would, from a visual perspective, prefer to come and be on the science side. It looks like it would be a nicer place to hang out underground. The military side doesn't necessarily look desperately inviting.
Yeah, they've got nice equipment, there's sort of Bunsen burners.
We have green life down there. We've growing plants.
That's true, actually. There's plants down there. That was interesting. So we have this kind of, there's a sort of dynamic that's going on, because obviously your concern is more to do with the creatures themselves. My concern, I suppose, is more to do with humanity.
Yeah. Which is interesting because they're both obviously important in their real world. It's like the idea of having this as a real concept, which I think was important for us too, to play this in a very grounded way of experiencing it within the Venom universe of Venom and Eddie are the wild ride, and they go on these insane adventures, and you see these extraordinary sequences with them. And so for us, it was this kind of, it was a human reality, very much so, and a human conflict going on. And I think, getting to play Dr. Payne was something exciting because she's a scientist, but she's doing that because of something that happened when she was a child. She lost someone very dear to her who had always dreamt of understanding more about the great beyond, and going and exploring space and seeing what is out there. So she is doing this from a really emotionally invested place in her heart. And I think that does make her judgment questionable at moments, because I do think she prioritizes protecting symbiotes, aliens, and in a way that could be dangerous to humanity. But I think in those moments, she's leading with her heart. And that is an interesting conflict to have, because technically they both have a right to feel the way they're feeling.
Totally.
Yeah. And it was fun to get scenes like that too, especially with such an incredible actor like Chiwetel. Getting to really find these meaty scenes in this universe too was something really special, I thought.
I think it's such a wild ride, all of that stuff. And as you know, as Brock and Venom enter the water, and we're sort of chasing them, and then you're just aware that that first of all, it's all happening in what feels like real time, you know, and it's all practical. And I think that's what was really extraordinary about what we were doing, is that so much of it felt practical, felt sort of tactile, that you could, you know, to your point, you know, you could touch it, you could see it, you could, you know, you could just really engage with all of these sets, with all of this action. And even in the last half of the film, you know, when these big set, you know, all of these explosions were explosions, you know what I mean? Like it was all sort of going off, and you feel like that's what is so engaging as well. That just adds another layer to everything, that you just sense that obviously there's VFX used, there's green screen used, but it's sort of integrated into something that is really based in practical sets and sort of practical
amazing
action,
stunts, team.
practical stunts, and you know, it's really, really great.
Yeah. Also, that sequence is like an emotional one for your character too. You're losing people.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other layer, I suppose, of General Strickland, is that it's like, although he is this kind of military man and has that sort of stoicism and that kind of that sort of energy that we're sort of used to seeing from the kind of military complex, he also is somebody who's very sort of emotional as well. He has empathy, and he's engaged in things that are sort of softer. He has a softer core, you know, and that in a way makes him both, you know, relatable, but also it kind of, you sort of understand why he pushes things potentially too far. I think it's a really fun ride. You know, it's really fun. It's a really engaging, exhilarating story, but it's also the story about this friendship, you know, and it's the friendship between Eddie and Venom, and we've seen that story, we've seen that friendship build over these three movies, and then here we are at this kind of moment where it all kind of, they have to make all of these decisions, and they're hard decisions, you know, and so you end up kind of thinking that an audience can really see, you know, this kind of great superhero film and this really incredible relationship. You also go out and you're sort of reflecting on your own friendships and your own interpersonal like dynamics, which is really great.
Yeah, the things that you would do to, you know, take care of the people you love, I think is an important element, as well as seeing these like crazy sequences. I mean, I'm excited for audiences to see Venom show off his dance skills and also become an array of exciting different creatures, animals. That's going to be fun. But yeah, it's both this incredible explosion of creativity and wild visuals, and then something really emotional and something that I think people can really relate to.